So first, I have been conducting research, and it is to the extent that I need a better support to conduct a more complicated research project. When I reached that point, I started planning for grant application. Secondly, with the support of grant, I can establish a lab which can help me train more graduate students who will be involved in the research project as well as be trained to be an independent researcher. So as a PI, I can lead a lab to achieve both training and research functions. It's a very related topic to a lot of people at work. Research have shown that more than 70% of American employees have experienced workplace ostracism. It is ambiguous mistreatment situation because the perpetrator simply withdraw their interaction behaviors. As a victim, the employees would feel quite perplexed about their interpersonal surroundings at work because people all have these fundamental needs to belong. When people are being ostracized, this will threat their needs to belong. So they would feel a lot of symptoms such as lack of control, low self-esteem, lack of meaningful existence, and of course, lack of belong. They would feel if this lasts for a while, employees will first will try to reestablish their interpersonal relationship by doing all sorts of things to regain these resources. However, if after spending a lot of effort, they still cannot be included, they would feel alienated, depression, and it's eventually withdraw from the work. They could form turnover intentions. From the employee's perspective, this type of mistreatment is detrimental, fundamentally detrimental to their mental and physical health. As I mentioned to you last time, when people are being ostracized, their brain system that is responsible for social pain is activated. So both this social pain, such as being burned, and this physical pain, such as being burned, and the social pain, active the same brain area of human beings. That's how serious this would be. Then for the employees, then for employers, if a workplace is lack of cohesion and people feel ostracized at the team level, or people feel ostracized from one's coworker or supervisors, this is a toxic work environment. It's very hard to motivate employees or improve employees' morale. This will definitely affect their productivity. Turnover is also very expensive for employers. Ostracism is, in fact, its topic being interested in researchers from all fields, including social psychology, industrial and organizational psychologists, and neuroscience field. So it was proposed by social psychologists. If you may know that back to middle school, ostracism could happen quite oftenly among teenagers, especially teenager girls. Sometimes they use this strategy to alienate another peer. for whatever reason. So it was originally examined by social psychologists, and autism among teenagers is a big topic because this teenager experience could largely affect their adult relationship and interpersonal interaction behaviors. And then of course, because human beings spend a lot of time at work, then in 2008, or after 2000, around 2008, IO psychologists started to pay attention on this specific type of workplace mistreatment, and it promoted a lot of research since 2008 in the IO field. Then also, neuroscientists have a long studied workplace ostracism. They ostracized participants in the lab settings, and they try to understand when people are being ostracized a very short time, because in the lab setting we prime ostracism feelings very temporarily, and in this not real world settings, this largely affected their brain activities as well as their neural activities, including sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. In other words, ostracism is a threatening experience. It threats people's fundamental needs to belong. Then when in the lab setting, even being ostracized by some strangers, people feel this approach and avoidance tendencies to either fight or flight. They either try to fight in terms of behave more pro-socially to regain the reconnections, or behave anti-socially to revenge, or they flight, such as being avoidance, withdraw and avoid other people. So all this can be dictated by neural functions. So it is a quite interdisciplinary field being attracted by all types of researchers. That is also why I want to study it, because it's not only IO, it has fundamental biological marks driving these behaviors. The fundamental damage of ostracism has been studied in the past 15 years. So people all know that it is quite damaging to the employees and employers. The next area I want to study is how ostracism at the team level will affect team productivity, including team cohesion and team performance. Secondly, I want to study how do people cope with ostracism. I'm going to make a presentation same day, like March 6th. This one examines ostracism among people with racial minority background. So I want to study how people, like white people versus non-white people, how they experience ostracism and what the similarity and difference in their coping strategies. Eventually, I want to study how people cope with ostracism and how people can get themselves out of this detrimental situation. The third area I want to study is that I think I mentioned to you, in the current funded project, I examine ostracism and people's physiological response, including the skin conductance level and heart rate functions. Next one, I want to use EEG to examine brain activities. And ostracism could induce effect on different type of performance. As I mentioned, it is approach. Ostracism may prevent people to be more approaching to the problems because it is like a passive type of mistreatment. And simultaneously, it may promote people to engage in more safety-oriented performance because they are already losing resources. They want to stop losing resources and keep themselves safe at the workplace. Therefore, altruism way may induce different brain activities which may dictate different type of performance-oriented behaviors.